Yes, you. Welcome to the You're Not Getting Any Younger podcast, a podcast for people who want to disrupt their lives for a good reason, to make it count. I'm your host, Jen Glantz, and every week I'll drop a new episode with stories from real people just like you, who woke up one morning and decided to make big changes, starting with small things. We'll cover topics like entrepreneurship, love, failure, and self-care. Hey, you're not getting any younger, so let's make this an adventure. Ready? Hey everyone, what's up? It's me, your host, Jen Glantz. Welcome back to another episode of the You're Not Getting Any Younger podcast. It's a new week, and I'm here for you. And I just want to say how much I love that you listen to this show. And I am so committed to bringing you the best episodes week after week. But hey, I also want to know what you're into. So I would love to hear from you. What kind of guests do you want? What kind of topics do you want to hear from me? Feel free to hit me up on social media at Jen Glantz or send me an email, jenglantz.com, and just say hello. I am dying to hear from you. What do you like? What do you want more of? And who in this world do you want to hear from? Those of you in New York, any youngers, come hang out with us. We're doing our first meetup of 2019 on July 16th at 6:30 p.m. at Solace Bar in the East Village. Okay, here's how these meetups work if you've never been. We have a private room upstairs. There's no one else there. There's no loud music. There's not alcohol anywhere. If you do want to get a drink, you can go downstairs and get it. What's upstairs? Well, I'll be there. A bunch of people from the podcast, the guests, the people who listen to the show will be there. We'll have free pizza. We'll have snacks. I also have some other awesome stuff I'm bringing for you. And this time we'll have two guests. We have Lila. She's a writer and she's going to be reading from a new memoir of hers. And she'll also be giving away 10 free copies to the first 10 people who get there. We'll have Jess, who you might remember from the podcast. She was on it twice, talking about the kinds of foods to eat when you are the most stressed out. Come solo, bring friends. I hope to see you there. And if, by the way, you are like, Jen, I'm in New York, I want to go, but I have no one to go with, and I am so scared to come, I beg you just to show up. I know how scary these things could be. Last week, an author of mine, an author that I absolutely love, T. Kara Madden, she wrote the book that I'm currently obsessed with called Long Live the Tribe of Fatherless Girls. I've been talking about her and posting about her on my Instagram ever since I finished her book. And I saw, as I was stalking her Instagram story, that she was going to be doing a book reading in Brooklyn, literally 2 blocks from my house. And I told my boyfriend, and he's like, we have to go. We're canceling all plans, and we're going. And I was like, absolutely not, because I've been, like, DMing this girl. I've been posting about her. And now I'm just going to, like, show up at this event? No way. And he's like, okay, I'm going to be ready downstairs at 7 p.m. I'm going to go. I'm going to walk by, and I hope you'll join me. And it was like 6:55. I was in my pajamas. I had no makeup on. And I'm sitting there thinking, how lame, Jen. You're going to sit in your apartment when this person you admire is right down the street. And you think she's going to think it's stalkerish, or do you think she's going to be so happy that you came? So I quickly put on pants. I changed my shirt. I put on a bra. And I went. And I sat in the back as she did her book reading, and then once it ended, this is literally what happened. My boyfriend's like, okay, Jen, go talk to her. I'm going to hang out by the bar. I waited until every other person said hi to her, and I went up to her. I was shaking. I gave her a hug. My heart was racing. I tried to make conversation with her. I thought it was really awkward because I thought I was really awkward, but who knows how it really went. My point is that it felt really good to do something so scary like that. And that's the same thing with showing up at events where you don't know anyone. And this is the kind of meetup, this is our 4th meetup, where most people who walk through the door don't know anyone. And it's a welcoming environment. It's going to be fun. It's going to be so much more chill than any other event because we have guest speakers. So if you're worried about making small talk, you don't have to worry about that. You'll come, you'll listen to speakers, you'll get free food. I'll give you a hug, we'll hang out. just come July 16th. And if you want more info, come hang out with us in the Secret You're Not Getting Any Younger Facebook group. There's a Facebook event there with all the details. If you're not in New York, I hope this year we do meetups in cities all around the country. Send us a message, DM me, let me know where in the world you are so I can plan a meetup in that city and bring you free pizza. Talking about doing very scary things, this week has been packed with those scary things. Yesterday, I went and did acupuncture for the first time, which is something I've always wanted to do, but I don't enjoy needles. I know that most people don't. And I was walking by this place in Flatiron District in New York, and it's a storefront. It's all about showing people how acupuncture works and making it more accessible to people. And one of the things that I do for work is I freelance write. So I write for NBC News, and I always pitch them ideas of, let me go try something and write about my experience. So I pitched them on writing about acupuncture. And yesterday I went for my treatment. I'm still a little bit unsure about how I feel about it. It was interesting is how I can sort of sum it up. You get there, you lay on a table, they very quickly just start sticking you with needles. There's no like breathe in or this is not going to hurt. I just remember I was laying there and next thing I know I had needles sticking out and most of the needles didn't hurt. There's probably like 20 or 30 needles all over my body from my head to my toe. And they didn't hurt, but there was a couple that really, really hurt. And when it was all over, there was also like, after she took the needles out, there were a couple points on my body for the next 5 minutes where I swore there was still a needle in there, but there wasn't. So that was the weird part. The second weird part is for the entire day after, I felt lethargic. I came home at 3 p.m. and I could not get out of my bed. It was the weirdest feeling of being really calmed down and stress-free, but also being lethargic. Now, the good part is it does really have a lot of great benefits. I specifically chose parts of my body that I wanted to heal. I wanted to heal my face. I have been having acne since I was 12. I wanted to work on my acne, and I also wanted to work on anxiety. So those are the 2 points that I asked to work on, and that's where she positioned the needles. And I can't tell you I have fantastic face results from it. It's been a day, but I can tell you the treatment itself is pretty relaxing. For 45 minutes, you lay there still. You don't have your phone. You have your eyes closed. In this case, the place I went, they put headphones on you with a guided meditation, so you're laying there. It's very calming, and it's also weird at the same time because, again, you have needles sticking out, and I kept thinking, like, don't make any sudden movement because there are needles in you. So it was a good way of forcing yourself to lay there and be calm and not really do anything but just relax. And I think I needed that. So will I do it again? I'm not really sure. But I know that it's helped so many people. I posted about it on Instagram and in the Secret You're Not Getting Any Younger Facebook group, and so many people have reached out and said that it helped them with shoulder pain or it helped them with anxiety. So it could be a good treatment option for you. I'm not recommending it that you try it, but if you've always wanted to try it, yes, it's scary. You might as well just go give it a try once. A lot of places have really great intro specials where they'll spend a lot of time educating you on what it's like and then doing it for you. Go try it for yourself, and please, I beg you, if you do, send me an email. I want to know how it is. Another scary thing that I'm about to do tomorrow that, believe me, I will update you on is I'm writing an article about going to naked yoga. Yeah, naked yoga. I'll leave it at that right now, but there will be updates about this, and I will update you on the podcast, but if you want like immediate updates from tomorrow, come to my Instagram at Jen Glantz. You will get tons of updates on what in the world I have experienced at something called naked yoga. There's also going to be sword fighting. That's coming up in a couple of weeks, which is probably the least weird of all of these things, or maybe to you it's the most weird. I'll be updating you on that as well. Today's solo episode topic is about something else. It's about advice. And it's about where we go for advice. A lot of us, when we have issues, the very first thing we do is we go to Google and we type in our problem, we read articles, we read blog posts, we try to get as much as we can to not feel so alone in that problem. And maybe we read a self-help book, or maybe we listen to a podcast, maybe we call a friend or we get coffee with a friend and we talk about those issues. We're constantly looking for advice everywhere we can. It's almost like we don't even want to sit silently by ourselves and discuss the problem within ourselves. We want external help, which is great. And I'm so grateful for those of you who email me and text me that this podcast helps you. It means the world to me. But here's what I ask. It's time for us to start figuring out, digesting, dissecting what in the world we want when we experience a problem. Because we never spend the time to ask ourselves. This week I'm giving you a challenge. Press the pause button until you have paper, pen, or the notes section on your phone, because here, my friends, is the challenge of the week. Make yourself a list. Make yourself a couple of lists. What do you want this month? July is starting so soon. By the time you listen to the episode, it's gonna be July. What do you want to do this month? What are the 5 things you want this month? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, we're less than halfway done with the year. What are 5 things you want to do by the end of the year? Okay, the final list is going to sound completely big and scary, but what do you want to do in your lifetime? What are those 5 things? Like, we all think that we're going to live till we're 110, and I hope we do. I hope I see all of you in the nursing home, and we hang out, we play bingo, and we dance, and we just reminisce about the past, but we don't control that part of our life in terms of how long we're going to live. And because of that, if we do not have goals and intentions about our immediate lifetime, what do we want right now, we will not accomplish the things that we are so burning to do while we can. So what kind of things can you put on your list for July? Maybe it is that once a week you go for a walk, or maybe it is that twice a week you go to some event to meet new people, or maybe it is that one day you skip out on having that McDonald's meal and you have a salad instead. What are those 5 tiny changes for July? For the end of the year, what are those 5 things you promised yourself December 31st, 2018 that you wanted to accomplish that you still haven't? Maybe that's booking a solo trip to somewhere you've always wanted to go. Maybe that's signing up for that stand-up comedy or improv class even though it scares you. Hey, maybe it's just dyeing your hair pink. What do you want to do that's a step up, a little bit bigger than your July goals for 2019? And then your lifetime, I can't help you with that, but I know you know what those things are. And if I was screaming in your face saying, what do you want to accomplish in your lifetime, what would you scream back at me? Because I know if I put you under that pressure, you would break and you would tell me and you would be honest, and it's time that you're honest with yourself. Make those lists. Make them right now. You're probably listening to this as you're commuting. And if you're not driving a car, then you can make these lists. And if you are, make them in your head. And maybe you're listening to this podcast while you're at your cubicle. And if so, come on, take a break and do this. And maybe you're just listening to this while, well, you fill in the blank, but make these lists. If you need a friend to send it to, I am here to look at your list. I am here to pump you up. I am here to help you. Send the list if you want. jenglantz@gmail.com. DM me on Instagram @jenglantz. And if you want to send it to more friends, you want more validation, you want more help, maybe there are other people who are experiencing what you are and can be your accountability buddy, come hang out with us in the Secret You're Not Getting Any Younger Facebook group. I promise you, there are people in there who have similar goals who can help you out. Are you ready for the challenge? Because I am so ready for you. Hey you! Thank you for listening to the You're Not Getting Any Younger podcast. There are hundreds of thousands of pods out there, so thank you for listening to this one. You can find the show notes for this week's episode up on our website, anyyounger.com. Subscribe, rate, and review the You're Not Getting Any Younger podcast on iTunes so that other ears around the world can listen too. Oh, and join our secret You're Not Getting Any Younger Facebook group, where over 1,000 people are talking about how to disrupt their lives, for a good reason, to make it count. Until next week, all my love, Jen Glantz.